Hello, everybody. It's Mary Marshall, registered nurse, diet and lifestyle educator, and healthcare concierge, back with another Friday 411. So, last week I mentioned that I was going to talk this week about ketogenic diets. So, I will do that after I make a couple announcements. June 8th to the 10th, join me and my friend Sue Hardesty at Camp Tuscazor here in Ohio for a Women's Back to Nature weekend. This will be June 8th through the 10th, and it's a really reasonable rate. We are gonna stay at the Stone Lodge, the rustic Stone Lodge at Camp Tuscazor. Hiking, health talks, yoga, time to yourself. It's really your time to follow our agenda or follow your own, and have some time for yourself. We will provide meals as well, so it's going to be a lot of fun. So I encourage you to check us out at gainingahealthylifestyle.com. You can register, or on our Facebook page, our event page at Back to Nature, and that's the Women's Back to Nature weekend, June 8th through the 10th. Or you can message me if you want any more information. I'd be happy to talk with you about that. Also, I am facilitating with Pam Popper of Wellness Forum Health, the Wellness Forum Health weight loss group, and we meet twice a month. And also, support, email access and support. You also get concierge healthcare service with that. So if you would like to join that group, that you can join that open group at any time, and we'd love to have you. So if you want some more information about what that all entails, let me know. And I apologize. I think my camera is probably wobbling a little bit because it was so nice. I wanted to come outside. But my camera's on my knees, and I start talking and waving around, so I apologize if it gets a little wobbly. I'll try to watch that. I also want to tell you about a free trial membership to Wellness Forum Health, and I'll do that at the end of my talk, give you a little more information. So, on to ketogenic diets. A ketogenic diet is a very high-fat, low-carbohydrate diet, and they've been around since the 1920s and have actually been very effective at treating epilepsy, especially in children. And this has been done, the folks at Johns Hopkins are specialists in doing this, and it really requires a true ketogenic diet for therapeutic purposes. Really requires a lot of professional support and supervision. You have to monitor your ketones very carefully, and there are a lot of side effects, but we'll talk about that in a minute. So ketosis mimics a fasting state in the body. So what happens, the body stops using glucose because it runs out of glucose, right? And starts using stored fats as fuel. And in the process, ketones are formed, hence ketogenic. So, and ketones are then used as fuel for our cells. And while this is very efficient for helping greatly reducing seizures and curing epilepsy, it's also been very helpful in treating some cancers as well. And but as I said before, there are some serious side effects. Now, and some of these side effects are dehydration, gastrointestinal issues, hypoglycemia, that means low blood sugar, electrolyte imbalances, your sodium, your potassium, your chloride are off in the body, acidosis, and that means the blood becomes too acidic. And when that happens, the body wants to buffer that acidity, and it pulls calcium from your bones. So osteopenia is a result, so weak bones. The pancreas can be affected, kidney stones, These low-fat, high-protein diets are very hard on the kidneys because those proteins have to be excreted, and the kidneys do the work of that. Cardiomyopathy has also been a side effect as well. So, but what is often called a ketogenic diet for weight loss, isn't, people aren't using ketone monitors. They're not tightly regulating their nutrients. What it basically is a high protein, low carbohydrate, high fat diet, aka Atkins, paleo, whatever you want to call it. So, and a couple of, and I mentioned all the risk factors of the ketogenic diet and following this type of diet. But I'll tell you, I'm working on a research paper for a class I'm taking at Wellness Forum Health, and I will tell you consistently across the board, saturated fats, high fats, high protein, high animal protein especially, are linked to increased cardiovascular risk and increased cancer risk. And consistently, saturated fats, which is what you find in animal fats, increase LDL cholesterol that leads to the buildup of the plaque in the arteries. It increase inflammation, increases atherosclerosis. So, and what is the high protein, high fat, low carbohydrate diets will result in weight loss very often, especially in the short term, but not so much long term, and with great side effects and risk. So you want to consider that before you make any decision about that. Some of the populations who have the lowest incidence of heart disease, type 2 diabetes, cancers, those follow dietary patterns that are high in fruits, vegetables, whole grains. Okay, that triad is always apart. Some of these other diets may have some fat, fish. You may see that in these populations. There's also other lifestyle habits like not smoking and being very active, physically active very often, but consistently eating plants decreases risk of disease. And I think what happens sometimes is there's this confusion between carbohydrate. Well, refined carbohydrate, your refined sugars, refined flours, highly processed foods are not the same as whole food carbohydrates. Your starches, your squash, your whole grains, your beans, your potatoes. Okay, many great populations, very healthy populations have subsisted on starchy foods for long periods of time. So a carb is not a carb is not a carb. There's really kind of two whole different food groups. So in dietary patterns, okay, we don't just eat single nutrients, okay, we don't just eat fats, we don't just eat proteins, we eat food, and we eat a pattern of food. And the dietary patterns that have actually even been shown to reverse heart disease, okay, Ornish, Esselstyn, they also low fat, very low fat, less than 10% of calories, less than 10 or 15% of calories, very low fat, very high in whole foods, especially whole food carbohydrates, low fat, whole food, plant-based, okay? And so look at what's out there. Look at what history tells you, what the research tells you. So there's a lot of reason to not be, as John McDougall says, a starchophobe. Okay, your starches are good for you. So a low-fat, whole food, plant-based diet is really associated with the lowest risk across the board of chronic degenerative disease. And so I'm going to keep that short on that. And that's it for today. And I wanted to tell you about the free trial membership. So if you would like to check us out at Wellness Forum Health and get a free trial membership. You get some 5 articles from the Health Briefs library, a couple of free workshops. Pam Popper is going to do some free recipes, about 5 free recipes, and then a planning session where we'll sit down with you and go over what programs and services we offer and how that might best suit you and what kind of membership or package would be great for you. So membership is, you get so much information and education with just a basic free membership. I encourage you to check that out. So I will, if I can put the copy of the request for free trial membership on the website, I will. On Facebook, I will. Otherwise, just shoot me a message and I'll get it to you. Have a great weekend, everybody. Bye.